everyone, and welcome back to Blooming Theories. I'm Ashley, and today we're going to talk about something deeply personal and often overlooked: how trauma and money go hand in hand. This is one of those conversations that can feel heavy, but it's also one that can open the door to real healing. I know firsthand how trauma has shaped the way I looked at money, the way I save, and the way I spend. And I want to share this with you because I believe so many of us are carrying the same unspoken struggle and burden. Why trauma impacts money. When you grow up around instability, stress, or toxic situations, your brain learns survival mode, right? And survival mode says spend it while it's here because it might not be here tomorrow. That survival instinct can follow us into adulthood. Suddenly, savings feels impossible, not because we don't have the money, but because our brains are wired to think safety comes from spending it right now. And then there's the rush, the little dopamine hit when we shop. It gives temporary comfort just like a drug, like a bandage on a wound. But once that high wears off, guilt sets in and cycles repeat. It's not about being bad with money, it's about unhealed wounds driving our decisions. Here's my story with money. I've broken away from toxic people in my life, and that was one of the hardest but most freeing things I've ever done. But then I realized I still was tied down by something else, my relationship with money. For me, when I felt stressed, sad, angry, or overwhelmed, I would shop. It wasn't about the things I bought, it was about the calming the storm inside of me. Spending was my coping mechanism, and just like trauma bonds with people, I had a trauma bond with money. And here's the thing, I used to beat myself up for it. And, well, I still kind of do. I'm not perfect, I'm human. But now I try to see it for what it is, survival mode wiring. And survival mode is not a character flaw, it was my brain doing what was best to protect me. Breaking that cycle. So how do we break free? For me, it started with awareness, catching myself in the moment, asking, what am I really feeling right now? Am I sad? Am I stressed? Am I overwhelmed? Just naming the feeling helps. Then I started swapping shopping with something else. Instead of swiping my card, I might step out barefooted and breathe. Write in my journal or play a song that shifts my mood. I also got myself a savings box, one of those ones you can't get into unless you break it. Every time I drop money in, I cross off an amount and it feels like I'm winning against the old pattern, which is another shot of dopamine. Not that it's about the size of the amount, it's about retraining my brain to feel the joy in saving instead of spending. And little affirmations help too. It's safe for me to save money. Saving is self-love. I can comfort myself without spending. These tiny shifts, practiced consistently, start to rewire the cycle. If you're listening to this and realizing that you do the same thing, please know you're not broken. Trauma shaped how you handle money, but you have the power to reshape it. Every dollar you save, every time you pause before buying, every moment you choose a new coping tool, those are victories. They're proof that you're breaking old cycles, and I want you to remember this. Survival mode may have kept you alive, but it doesn't have to run your future. You deserve safety. You deserve peace. You deserve to feel whole with your money. Thank you so much for letting me share my heart with you today. This episode wasn't easy to record, but it's one I knew had to be spoken out loud. If this touched you, if it helped you feel seen, I'd love for you to share it with someone else who might be struggling with money and trauma. And always remember, healing takes time, but every step is worth celebrating you. You're not just surviving anymore. You're blooming into someone stronger, freer, and more at peace. Until next time, this is Ashley with Blooming Theories, reminding you that your moments and your money story can bloom into timeless memories.